The images from Gaza have been heartbreaking. The devastation is almost unimaginable, with entire neighborhoods reduced to rubble. We have seen so much suffering, families torn apart, homes reduced to rubble. The pain and loss are etched on the faces of the people. After months of relentless conflict, a ceasefire now holds. The streets, once filled with the sounds of war, are now eerily quiet. It is a fragile peace, but a glimmer of hope for the Palestinian people. Children are beginning to play again, and families are cautiously optimistic. They have endured unimaginable hardship. The resilience of the people is truly inspiring as they begin to rebuild their lives. The conflict in Gaza has global significance. It has drawn the attention of the world, with activists and leaders calling for lasting peace. It reminds us of the human cost of war. The images of injured civilians and weeping families are a stark reminder of the need for peace. It highlights the urgent need for peace and diplomacy. Diplomatic efforts are crucial to ensure that this ceasefire leads to a lasting resolution. The ceasefire is a crucial step, but it is only the beginning. Rebuilding efforts are underway, and humanitarian aid is arriving to help those in need. The world is watching to see if this truce will last. International observers are on the ground, monitoring the situation closely. We must all work towards a just and lasting peace in the region. Community meetings and peace rallies are a testament to the desire for harmony. The people of Gaza deserve nothing less. Their smiles and hope are a powerful reminder of the human spirit's resilience. The recent conflict began in October 2023, marking a significant escalation in the region's long-standing tensions. Hamas militants launched a surprise attack into southern Israel, catching the nation off guard and igniting a fierce battle. The assault, which involved crossing the border fence and infiltrating Israeli towns, resulted in the deaths of over 1,200 Israelis, leaving communities in shock and mourning. Hundreds more, including civilians, were taken hostage, adding to the chaos and fear. Israel responded swiftly and forcefully with airstrikes and a ground offensive in Gaza, aiming to dismantle Hamas's infrastructure. The densely populated Palestinian enclave, home to over 2 million people, was devastated, with entire neighborhoods reduced to rubble. Thousands of Palestinians, including many women and children, were killed in the fighting, leaving a trail of grief and loss. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza quickly spiraled out of control, with countless families displaced and in desperate need of assistance. Hospitals were overwhelmed with casualties, struggling to provide care amid the relentless influx of the injured. Food, water, and medical supplies dwindled, exacerbating the dire conditions for the residents of Gaza. The United Nations described the situation as catastrophic, calling for immediate international intervention to alleviate the suffering. After weeks of intense negotiations, a ceasefire was brokered. Egypt and Qatar played key roles in mediating the agreement. The United States, under the leadership of President Biden, also exerted significant diplomatic pressure. The ceasefire, which went into effect on January 19, 2025, calls for a complete cessation of hostilities. It includes provisions for the phased release of Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners. Critically, it allows for increased humanitarian aid to reach desperate civilians in Gaza. The agreement also outlines a gradual Israeli withdrawal to Gaza's borders. However, the details of this withdrawal remain unclear. There are concerns about who will control security in Gaza after the Israeli pullout. The ceasefire is a fragile step towards peace, a delicate balance that could easily be disrupted. The international community must now focus on addressing the root causes of the conflict, which have festered for decades. This includes the unresolved issue of Palestinian statehood, a matter that has long been a point of contention. The expansion of Israeli settlements in the West Bank continues to be a major obstacle to peace, and the dire humanitarian situation in Gaza demands urgent attention and action. Rebuilding Gaza will require a massive international effort, involving resources and cooperation from around the globe. Homes, schools, hospitals, and infrastructure lie in ruins, a stark reminder of the conflict's devastation. The psychological scars of the conflict will take years, if not generations, to heal, affecting countless lives. The international community must also work to ensure that the ceasefire holds, preventing further bloodshed. The risk of renewed violence remains high, a constant threat to the fragile peace. All parties must show restraint and commitment to a peaceful resolution, putting aside differences for the greater good. The future of Gaza and the hope for a lasting peace in the region depend on it. The world watches and waits.